What if I told you that love, real, deep, and lasting love, isn't about luck? It's not about being in the right place at the right time or waiting for the stars to align. It's about something far more powerful, something within your control. Most people spend their lives chasing love. They try to make themselves more appealing, more noticeable, more worthy in someone else's eyes. They twist themselves into versions they think will be more lovable. But let me ask you, does that ever truly work? Or does it leave you feeling drained, undervalued, and invisible? What if, instead of chasing love, you could attract it, naturally, effortlessly? Not by changing who you are, but by mastering who you are. Think about the people you find magnetic, the ones who seem to effortlessly draw others toward them. They're not always the loudest in the room or the most conventionally attractive. Their power lies in something deeper, something unshakable. It's their energy, their presence, their ability to command attention without demanding it. They have an aura of confidence, of certainty, of self-mastery. And here's the secret. That kind of magnetism isn't a gift you're born with. It's something you create. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The Stoics understood something fundamental about human nature, that power, love, and connection all begin with one thing: mastery of the self. When you learn to control your emotions, your actions, and your inner world, you no longer rely on others for validation. You radiate confidence because you've built it from within. You stop seeking approval because you've already given it to yourself. And when you do that, you become irresistible. But there's another layer to this. Love isn't just about strength. It's about understanding. Understanding yourself, yes, but also understanding the person in front of you. What moves them? What do they fear? What do they desire? By combining the timeless principles of Stoicism with modern psychological insights, you can create a connection so profound it feels almost inevitable. You won't have to ask, how do I make them love me? Instead, you'll become the kind of person they can't help but fall for. Think about it. Most people are reactive in love. They respond to what others give them or don't give them. But a Stoic is proactive. A Stoic understands that love isn't about manipulation or desperation. It's about becoming. Becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts love because you embody everything someone is searching for. So, if you're tired of chasing, if you're ready to step into a power you didn't know you had, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose self-mastery," because this journey starts with you. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into powerful Stoic tactics, strategies grounded in ancient wisdom and sharpened by an understanding of human nature. We'll explore how to align with your own strength, how to understand the desires of others, and how to create the kind of love that doesn't just happen, it endures. But here's the first step, and it's crucial. Stop focusing on them and start focusing on you. Because love isn't about forcing someone to care. It's about becoming the kind of person they can't ignore. Let's begin with the foundation. If you want to understand how to make someone fall in love with you, you have to understand what truly attracts people. It's not just looks, charm, or even shared interests. Those things can draw attention, yes, but they don't create deep, lasting connection. What people are really drawn to is strength. Inner strength. Think about it. How do you feel when you're around someone who is confident, grounded, and self-assured? There's something magnetic about them. They don't need to announce their strength. It's simply there, in the way they move, the way they speak, the way they hold themselves. They exude an energy that makes you want to be near them, to understand them, to earn their attention. This is where Stoicism offers us a timeless truth. People are drawn to those who have mastered themselves. The Stoics believed in the power of self-control. the ability to govern your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And here's the secret. When you have this kind of strength, it doesn't just make you feel more confident, it makes others feel safe. In a world full of chaos and uncertainty, most people are looking for stability. They want to feel anchored, secure, understood. When you embody self-mastery, you become that anchor. You become someone they can rely on, someone who doesn't get swept away by every passing emotion or external challenge. That kind of presence is rare, and it's irresistible. But let's take this a step further. Beyond Stoicism, dark psychology reveals another layer of attraction. People are drawn to certainty. When you know who you are, when you are unwavering in your sense of self, it creates a sense of comfort and fascination. On the other hand, emotional unpredictability, being inconsistent, overly reactive or unsure, repels. It makes people feel uneasy, even if they can't articulate why. So how do you create this foundation of strength? It starts with controlling what you can, yourself. Focus on becoming emotionally stable. Develop a calm confidence that doesn't need external validation. This isn't about arrogance. It's about quiet self-assurance. People will feel the difference. And here's the irony. The less you need someone to love you, the more they'll be drawn to you. Why? Because you're no longer chasing their approval. You're not trying to fill a void. Instead, you're inviting them to step into your world. A world that feels steady, compelling, and whole. If you're ready to build this kind of strength, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose self-mastery," because this foundation isn't just about attracting someone else. It's about becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself. And that's where real love begins. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's explore one of the most magnetic traits a person can possess: authenticity. In a world filled with masks, where people are constantly pretending to be something they're not, authenticity shines like a beacon. It draws people in because it offers something rare, something real. Let me ask you, how often do you find yourself editing who you are to fit in, to be liked, to impress someone? It's natural, isn't it? We all want to be accepted, but here's the problem. The more you hide your true self, the more you blend in, the more you become just another face in the crowd. Now think about the people who stand out to you. What makes them so compelling? It's not perfection, it's their ability to be themselves unapologetically. They aren't trying to fit a mold or meet someone else's expectations. They own who they are, flaws and all. And that confidence, that authenticity, makes them unforgettable. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from living in alignment with your values. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This means being authentic, even when it's uncomfortable. It means being vulnerable, but not needy. It's about being so grounded in who you are that you don't need external validation to feel worthy. But here's where authenticity becomes truly magnetic. It creates trust. When you're genuine, people feel it. They sense that you're not playing games or trying to manipulate them, and trust is the foundation of all meaningful connections. When someone feels they can trust you, they naturally open up to you. They let down their guard. They start to feel a bond that goes deeper than surface attraction. Now let's layer in a bit of dark psychology. Authenticity becomes even more powerful when paired with mirroring. Mirroring is the subtle art of reflecting back the other person's energy, tone, and emotions. It makes them feel understood, seen, and comfortable. But here's the key. You can only mirror effectively when you're being authentic yourself. People can sense when you're faking it. So, how do you cultivate this kind of magnetism? It starts with knowing yourself. What are your values? What do you stand for? What makes you, you? The more you embrace these things, the more naturally attractive you become. And when you pair authenticity with genuine curiosity about the other person, you create a connection that feels effortless. The beauty of authenticity is that it doesn't require you to chase anyone. When you're true to yourself, the right people will be drawn to you. You won't have to convince them because your energy will speak for itself. If you're ready to embrace the power of authenticity, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose to be real." Because the world doesn't need more perfection, it needs more truth. And the most powerful thing you can do is show up as yourself. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet powerful aspects of attraction: mystery. In an age where everything is overshared and people rush to reveal every detail about themselves, being mysterious is a rare and captivating quality. It's the subtle art of leaving just enough unsaid to make someone want more. Think about it. Why are we drawn to stories that leave us guessing? Why do cliffhangers keep us on the edge of our seats? It's because mystery creates intrigue. It taps into our natural curiosity and compels us to seek answers. The same principle applies to human connection. When you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, you remove the excitement of discovery. But when you hold back, you create a sense of allure that keeps others engaged. Here's where Stoicism provides invaluable insight. A Stoic doesn't seek validation from others. They don't feel the need to prove themselves or overshare to gain approval. They embody self-control, knowing that their worth is not dependent on how much they reveal. Epictetus once said, "Keep silent for the most part, or say only what is essential and in few words." This doesn't mean you should be cold or distant. It means you should be intentional about what you share and when. Mystery isn't about playing games or being deceitful. It's about understanding that not every part of you needs to be on display at all times. When you leave room for curiosity, you give someone the chance to explore who you are, gradually. And this exploration is what builds intrigue and deepens connection. Now, let's bring in a psychological perspective. Human beings are naturally drawn to what feels slightly out of reach. When something or someone seems too available, it's easy to take it for granted. But when there's an air of mystery, it activates the brain's reward system. The person becomes more invested in figuring you out, in earning your attention, in uncovering the layers you've chosen to keep hidden. But here's the key. Mystery only works when it's authentic. It's not about being secretive for the sake of it. It's about genuinely living a life so rich and fulfilling that there are naturally parts of you that take time to uncover. When you cultivate hobbies, passions, and goals that are deeply meaningful to you, you naturally exude a sense of depth that others find fascinating. So, how can you embody this subtle art of mystery? Start by practicing restraint. The next time you meet someone new, resist the urge to overshare. Let them ask questions. Let them lean in. Be deliberate about the parts of yourself you reveal, and allow the rest to unfold over time. Remember, attraction isn't about being an open book. It's about being a book worth reading. When you embrace mystery, you become someone people want to know, someone they can't stop thinking about. If you're ready to harness this powerful tactic, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose mystery," because sometimes the most compelling thing you can do is let them wonder. Here's a truth that's often overlooked. People aren't drawn to you for who you are alone. They're drawn to how you make them feel. If you want to create a deep and lasting connection, you need to understand not just what someone says they want, but what they truly desire beneath the surface. Most people never take the time to observe or listen deeply. They're too focused on presenting themselves, trying to impress, or worrying about how they're being perceived. But a Stoic knows better. The key to understanding someone's desires is not in speaking, it's in observing. Stoicism teaches us to approach the world with calm detachment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you focus less on how you're coming across and more on being present, you gain insight into the subtle clues others reveal about themselves, their body language, the words they choose, the emotions they express. All of these are windows into their inner world. Here's where dark psychology adds another layer. Most people aren't fully aware of their own desires. They might tell you they value one thing, but their actions reveal something entirely different. Your role is to pay attention to those actions. For instance, someone might say they want stability, but their choices show they're drawn to excitement. Or they might say they value independence, yet their behavior suggests they crave closeness. When you learn to read these unspoken cues, you make someone feel seen in a way they rarely experience. And feeling seen, it's one of the most powerful emotions you can evoke in someone. It creates a connection that feels almost magical, as if you understand them better than they understand themselves. But understanding their desires isn't just about observation, it's about empathy. It's about stepping into their shoes and asking yourself, what are they really looking for? Is it validation, security, adventure, freedom? The more you understand their emotional needs, the more naturally you can create a bond that feels meaningful and authentic. Now, let's bring this back to Stoicism. The Stoics teach us to observe without attachment. This means you're not trying to manipulate someone by exploiting their desires. Instead, you're creating a connection that's rooted in genuine understanding. When you approach love with this kind of clarity and intention, it becomes less about making them fall for you and more about creating a space where they feel safe to be themselves. But here's the catch. You can't truly understand someone else if you haven't first understood yourself. This is why self-awareness is so critical. When you've done the inner work, when you know your own values, strengths, and boundaries, you're better equipped to recognize what aligns with you and what doesn't. If you're ready to start understanding desires, both theirs and your own, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose clarity." Because love isn't about guessing. It's about seeing clearly, both within yourself and the person you're drawn to. Here's a paradox that few people understand. The more you're willing to let go, the more attractive you become. In relationships, most people cling. They hold tightly to the idea of control, believing that if they can just do the right things or say the right words, they can make someone love them. But love doesn't work that way. Love flourishes in freedom, and freedom begins with letting go. Think about it. Have you ever been drawn to someone who was desperate for your attention? Someone who clung to you so tightly that it felt suffocating? Now contrast that with someone who radiates confidence, someone who seems perfectly content whether you're there or not. Which one feels more compelling? Which one do you find yourself wanting to chase? This is where Stoicism offers profound guidance. A true Stoic doesn't chase, they attract. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the root of all joy." When you free yourself from the need to control someone else's feelings, you step into a place of power. You project an energy that says, "I am whole on my own." And that energy, it's magnetic. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop attaching your sense of self-worth to the outcome. When you let go of the need for someone to love you, you create space for genuine connection to grow. You stop forcing, and you start allowing. This shift is subtle, but its impact is profound. Here's where dark psychology provides an interesting insight. Human beings are wired to want what feels scarce. When something or someone is too readily available, we often take it for granted. But when there's a sense of independence, When someone shows that they don't need us, it sparks curiosity and desire. By letting go, you create a sense of scarcity, not as a tactic to manipulate, but as a natural byproduct of your self-sufficiency. When you're not constantly available, when you're not chasing, you become someone worth pursuing. Your confidence in letting go makes them question what they might be missing, and that question lingers in their mind. But letting go isn't just about them, it's about you. It's about freeing yourself from the exhausting cycle of trying to earn someone's love or attention. It's about stepping into a mindset where your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else's approval. This confidence of letting go also means you're willing to walk away if something doesn't align with your values or goals. This is a powerful statement, not just to them, but to yourself. It's a declaration that you are in control of your life, your emotions, and your choices. So how do you practice letting go? Start by reminding yourself that you can't control how someone feels about you. You can only control how you show up, how you treat others, and how you honor yourself. Focus on your growth, your passions, and your peace. When you do this, you become someone who doesn't just attract love, you inspire it. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose freedom," because letting go isn't about giving up, it's about giving yourself the space to thrive. Did you know that the most powerful things we communicate don't require words? In fact, much of the attraction we create happens silently through body language, eye contact, and the energy we project. Long before you speak, you're already sending signals about who you are and how you feel. The question is, are you aware of the signals you're sending? Let's start with body language. Have you ever been drawn to someone who carries themselves with confidence? They don't need to say a word. Their posture, their movements, the way they occupy space, it all tells a story. A Stoic understands that how you carry yourself is just as important as what you say. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In the same way, your body reflects your inner state. When you stand tall, shoulders back, and move with purpose, you're telling the world, and anyone you're interested in, that you are self-assured and comfortable in your own skin. This kind of confidence is magnetic. It draws people in without you having to say a single word. Now let's talk about eye contact. It's one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to create a connection. When you hold someone's gaze, you're telling them that they have your full attention, that you're not distracted, that they matter in this moment. But there's a balance to strike. Too little eye contact can make you seem disinterested, while too much can feel intense or overwhelming. The key is to be intentional. Look them in the eye when you're speaking, and hold their gaze just long enough to show them you're engaged. Here's where dark psychology offers an additional layer. Mirroring. Mirroring is the subtle art of reflecting the other person's body language, tone, and energy. When done naturally, it creates a sense of comfort and familiarity. The person feels understood, even if they can't explain why. For example, if they lean forward slightly, you do the same. If their tone becomes softer, so does yours. This doesn't mean copying them. It means aligning with their energy in a way that deepens connection. But non-verbal communication isn't just about how you present yourself. It's also about how you listen. When you lean in slightly, nod at the right moments, and maintain an open posture, you're signaling that you're fully present. This kind of presence is rare, and it leaves a lasting impression. Here's a Stoic insight to guide you. Be deliberate in how you move, how you hold yourself, and how you engage with others. When your outer expression aligns with your inner confidence, you create an energy that others can't help but notice. And remember, silence can be just as powerful as speech. A pause, A knowing look, or even a calm, steady presence can say more than words ever could. You don't need to fill every moment with chatter. Sometimes the most profound connections are forged in the spaces between words. So, how can you start using non-verbal communication to your advantage? First, become aware of your body language. Are you open and confident, or closed off and unsure? Next, practice intentional eye contact. Let your gaze convey curiosity and presence. Finally, pay attention to the energy you're projecting. Is it one of calm confidence, or are you letting nervousness take over? If you're ready to master the art of communicating without words, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I choose presence." Because attraction isn't just about what you say, it's about how you show up. Let's talk about something that often gets misunderstood: boundaries. Most people think of boundaries as walls, things you put up to keep others out. But in truth, boundaries aren't about exclusion. They're about definition. They define who you are, what you stand for, and what you will and won't accept. And here's the surprising part. Boundaries are incredibly attractive. Think about it. When someone has clear boundaries, it shows they respect themselves. It shows they value their time, their energy, and their emotional well-being. And that kind of self-respect is magnetic. It draws people in because it sends a powerful signal. I know my worth, and I won't compromise it. Stoicism teaches us that the foundation of a virtuous life is self-control. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Boundaries are an expression of that power. They're a way of saying, I control my life, and I choose what I allow into it. But how does this relate to love? Boundaries create a sense of balance in a relationship. They prevent you from overgiving or losing yourself in the process of trying to make someone else happy. They ensure that your needs are met and that your identity remains intact. And here's the key. When you respect your own boundaries, others will respect them too. Now let's explore how boundaries play into attraction. Have you ever noticed that people are often drawn to what feels slightly out of reach? When you're too available, too accommodating, or too willing to bend, it can make you seem less valuable. But when you have boundaries, when you're willing to say no or walk away if necessary, it creates a sense of intrigue and respect. This is where dark psychology offers a useful insight, the push-pull dynamic. It's the balance between being open and being selective. You give enough of yourself to show interest, but you hold enough back to maintain your sense of independence. This keeps the connection alive because it creates a sense of challenge. It makes the other person want to earn your attention and respect. But boundaries aren't just about attraction, they're about protection. They protect your energy from being drained, your emotions from being manipulated, and your time from being wasted. And when you protect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. Establishing boundaries doesn't mean you're difficult or demanding. It means you're clear about what you deserve. It means you're confident enough to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't align with your values. This clarity is what makes you irresistible, because it shows you're someone who can't be easily swayed or taken for granted. So, how do you set boundaries in love? First, get clear on your non-negotiables. What are the things you absolutely need in a relationship? What are the behaviors you won't tolerate? Next, communicate your boundaries calmly and confidently. You don't need to justify them, simply state them as a reflection of your self-respect. Finally, be willing to enforce them. A boundary is only as strong as your willingness to uphold it. If you're ready to embrace the power of boundaries, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I honor my boundaries." Because love isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding someone who values you for exactly who you are. Now let's dive into one of the most counterintuitive truths about love and attraction. The more you try to control someone, the more they slip away. But when you let go of the need for control, you create the space for genuine love to grow. This is the paradox of control, and it's a principle deeply rooted in both Stoicism and human psychology. Think about it. Love isn't something you can force. You can't make someone feel a certain way, no matter how hard you try. You can't control their actions, their emotions, or their decisions. And the more you try to, the more resistance you create. People naturally push back against anything that feels like control or pressure. It's a defense mechanism. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the root of all joy." Freedom isn't just about living without constraints. It's about allowing others the space to be themselves. When you stop trying to control the outcome, you free both yourself and the other person. And this freedom is where attraction flourishes. When you let go of control, you stop chasing. You stop overthinking every interaction, every message, every word. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your own thoughts, your own actions, your own energy. And this shift in focus changes everything. It creates a sense of calm, confidence, and self-assuredness that is magnetic. Here's where dark psychology offers an intriguing perspective. People are most drawn to what they feel they can't fully possess. When you let go of trying to control the relationship, you naturally create a sense of intrigue and desire. You send a powerful signal: I'm here because I choose to be, not because I need to be. This independence makes you more attractive, not less. But the paradox of control goes deeper than that. By letting go, you also make the other person feel more in control. And when people feel in control of their choices, they're more likely to invest emotionally. It's human nature. We value what we choose for ourselves far more than what's handed to us or forced upon us. So, how do you practice the paradox of control in your own life? Start by recognizing what you can and cannot control. You can't control how someone feels about you, but you can control how you show up. You can control your energy, your behavior, and your willingness to walk away if the relationship doesn't align with your values. Next, focus on being present. Let go of the need to plan every move or predict every outcome. Trust that if the connection is meant to grow, it will, naturally, without force or manipulation. And finally, embrace the power of choice. Remind yourself that you don't need someone to validate your worth. You're choosing to be in their life, and that choice is a gift, not an obligation. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment, "I let go of control." Because love isn't about holding on too tightly. It's about creating a space where both people can grow, together and freely. As we bring everything together, there's one truth that remains at the core of all these principles. Love doesn't start with them. It starts with you. It starts with how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you show up in the world. Before anyone can truly fall in love with you, you must first embody the traits you want to attract. Think about it. How often do we place the burden of our happiness on someone else? We tell ourselves, "I'll feel complete when they love me. I'll feel worthy when they choose me." But love doesn't work that way. When you approach love from a place of emptiness, you're not looking for connection, you're looking for validation. And validation is fleeting. The Stoics knew this. They taught that self-mastery is the foundation of all fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not the external things that disturb us, but our thoughts about them." When you rely on someone else to fill the gaps within you, you give away your power. But when you fill those gaps yourself, when you master your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you become whole. and wholeness is what attracts love that lasts. So, how do you start with yourself? First, practice self-respect. Know your worth and don't settle for less than you deserve. When you set high standards for how you treat yourself, others will naturally rise to meet them. Second, focus on your growth. Pursue your passions, nurture your mind, and cultivate the kind of life that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Here's the truth. The more fulfilled you are on your own, the more you radiate the kind of energy that draws others in. You become someone who doesn't need love, but chooses it. And that choice, that's what makes it powerful. Dark psychology supports this idea in an interesting way. People are most attracted to those who seem self-sufficient, independent, and confident in their own skin. Why? Because being with someone like that feels secure. It feels inspiring. It feels like being part of something greater rather than carrying the weight of someone else's insecurities. But here's where the journey takes a deeper turn. Starting with yourself doesn't just make you more attractive, it makes you happier. When you love yourself, you stop settling for half-hearted relationships. You stop chasing people who don't see your worth. You stop wasting your time on connections that drain you. Instead, you attract people who align with your values, who respect your boundaries, and who see the beauty in your authenticity. Love that starts with you is love that lasts. It's not built on need, but on mutual respect and admiration. It's not about completing each other, but about growing together. So, as we close this journey, let me leave you with a question. What are you doing today to love yourself more? How are you showing up for yourself in a way that sets the standard for others? If this video resonated with you, take a moment to like it and comment, "I choose self-love." And remember, true love isn't about finding someone to fill your voids. It's about becoming so full within yourself that love flows naturally toward you. Thank you for watching Stoic Blessing. If you found wisdom in this reflection, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of seekers and thinkers. Your journey starts now. Choose yourself, and the rest will follow.